Bell Radio.
We are not stopping. There's more to come.
Yama atiefoni ayefoni na ajo ema akwaba edo eba bel kasa fidie eso enenso eye dafofra twedi ampo kwame aye edi amamenu mienu se yeni ahrusie ewo mu enti church am kwame eti say this is the day the good Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Enunti ene eye benadan na nonson abo apon sima aduasa ensien na se dada dwumadie health and wealth apomuden eni ejapade ene nenso no yeshia eba abedi enkomo se de nonson bi abo a benada bi eye no yeshia adwendwie na apomuden ho edi enkomo efa na apomuden ho se de be ya ebeboa na abrabo aye boy no yensu yehu nyema bi a ewo se yeye eni enyema bi a eni kwan se yeye no wa abrabo mu se be beboa na enapomudi nso no etumi asipi na asi eta midin eni nanaba kwabna metremu edi amami ankasa meba eni miniaba sister Sunday ena metremu edi amano ne Dr. Steven ewo ifia Dr. Steven ewo ifia ha oyene no eba abetwetwe nkomo ani nano efa enapomuden eho ensem emu na yemre ne kodeda no nso amapa wisiman aduasa enso wodi abeya nse pepe ni pepa na bibia na peso otwo bia no watumi atwene asemise bia obia nso no obetumi edi ato comment section mu na emrepam no megibre na makenkan ni na etumi edi amount na bibia aye fine na etumi aye kama pa edi amount bi nko Dr. Steven Chen na enenso no inapomudi ho nsam no yentimi ensua ade kaka Dr. Memoajo
ye janana
na bajo pomwe
nyame adom ye ho ye
da atwede ampo ase yem say last week in fidie ni ya yi kakrenti no yentumi ensia ma menu say enede yabobo e ho pa
sa pepe
enye asamketo nyi se bushafo so bia ho ye
nyame adom obi ho ye
da atwede ampo ase na ene ye hweden ene aye branda ye say health and wealth ene pomudi de ne ye hwe
ende ne ye be hwe no so ehu hia ye pa especially normally no se unware ya se ne DJ twice unware ye pressure kono so adechin na adese nyina ye na ware onya ware bi pe na akade ba ko mo hwe kwan afi na pressure asanso aba ye na wo enu nti most at times no sa warefo enyanya ba de bia omutwa omani a omohwe oba no yes and ye oba no nkwan be ma no kra wo greater problem than the ladies.
Wow.
Enu ntini ye be hwende no eye male infertility.
Male infertility.
Enu na ye friend male impotence problems.
Okay.
Se be ma otumi ni oba da all right. Nanso no hunsu no entumi emfiusi oba no ovum menye ba mene ye. Enu nti eno na nde embrebe ha ho kwan me ahwe. Ti ende no ye nche bebre.
Okay.
Enu nti no mesre na mama etiefo so aso ate. So as I move along no sense bi se bi wo ho a omomfa ntum ye koni nyina na ye yi anoko ti be wie no na che se ye yi nsem bi sa beba nyina ano
sa pepepe yes and ye hwe emema sebo mu hunsuo no agene a entimi emom ntumi enwo eho ase ne ye ba amehwe okay ti for ekrado
enu nti no da ne den nyina no yesu ade foforo na me gidi yesu se etiefo ebe ya so etie di abobra enu nti no ne ameka nyina tiawa ne se sa nioma me bobubo nyina no wo ye be ma ya hwe yie ewo ho pa ne dinkan ye didie mu 1 habitual overeating sa wo ye be ma na wo tie me na de bia no wo de obetu egude anka obedi na wayare a ene ehye wo ya hwe yie ye funu wo limita efeduane enu nti no se du sa limit na we shouldn't exceed that limit overeating men didi na mbro yefun no element so ese yehu any yefun no the amount and quantity of food it can entails na feed the body with. So we be man wo tie mi a tie ni ye emba so ka ho but the mbema because of the impotence in na make mbema no. Secondly, excessive protein food, sweet, rich pastry and dessert must be omitted. And untino ye wo mbema bi so ho mo enum kra ye omo de kra se mba. And untino protein no hunamdua no hia but it shouldn't be in excess. Ese yehu ni animpadua akwa no hia na ye de ma no. Afi sweet adokodoko de no yentete so rich pastry meat pie na chips omo aye no soko eno ena ye pe na yasan so atwe drinks ato so. Afi after ye duane ye di no na ye di kan wa ye friend dessert no we ought to omit it. Enye da na ye say ye ni gin ho say ye bedi. Afi do not use salt. Stopping. It is essential for lowering blood pressure. And untino eyes either say ye be jay salt esichire sorry enchene di anaso ye beti so kra ye obi no ho a omo akwanya kati kra omo no ma omo de nchen begum because so omo nim ni anchen ye apart from na mebeka ho azemi afi ebua eshuti blood pressure. I quite remember say you see hypertension da enu nti salt no e say ye twitwa so e we yakwan mu kra anaso de yete so kra. Afi do not eat animal fat, grease, unsaturated fat, butter, margarine or any product containing them. Enu nti no ye margarine di ana eduane bia it contains fat no yentete so. The last time I suffer hypertension, I talked about chibom. In Jeff 3, 4. Now, ya chini nyina bom. In Jeff no kura no, oyela esoki egg no. Uchima, ubetumi use sa oya na da ache another nkosia. Ni nyina no ye diko nimpedua no mu. Gradually it weaken our system. I bedum bribia, na ese nimpedua no ye no entumi enye. Ebini this impotence ayebekasa afa ho ti duane a fat won bia no we should reduce it. Odi bread egg shem ojima dwene na fam na odi ewia na waye mo na ngwa egg na so biom not who odi thinking say she or he is living good but at the end or how the bebrel. Do not eat chocolate, alcohol, avocados, aged cheeses or yogurt. We should minimize it, the intake, and also enjoy the cry. And you know, we would na unde chocolate. Obi to me say chocolate boso within 5 minutes. Now I consume chocolate and for about 10 bet to me the on go on. But na name edini na otine to so etumi yogurt by 5 6 on kwa and how the effect will come some years later. And until I made 2 phone say you have to refrain from it. Afe, no late meals. Do not eat later than several hours before bedtime. And until wouldn't say would di ewimbre na wuntumi entwen enche ansa wakoda and how ho end kra after 5 make bibi say after 5 refrain from cooked food. So wouldn't say you can't take a stroll for a longer period of time and I want to mean tenase enche ansa wakoda after 5 men di any cooked food. After stress, fear and anger and pain and also to me the or how a brain what stress you have to have time for the body. Mahonam diano and relax and rest. Afe suro nyina ese wuji efri wumu afe ebufu jenjen na yaudie. Some people are too emotional. Bibi kakra obedwe ho sa no di ya no sunemu. Ni nyina etumi de or how a brain impedua no. Nti at the moment you are having sex, yaudi wo ho no your sperms no automatically ahwode no ebedwe. Oh yes.
Ebi oni ohokani edi asiemu a.
Oh yes.
Ebi ayawdie bi, obi hu yawdie bi ewo omu a, asa obu afu hu no.
For sure.
Etimi ema ohun nsuo no kra ne gene.
Sure.
Wow.
Enunti no having sex no, you have to concentrate solely.
Okay.
Say this is what I'm doing. Enunti no, the sex no is not for you alone. When our partner na mo having sex, you have to enjoy equally. And he say baako any je say baako. Enunti no, say wadwen nyina prepared. Enunti no, bema only in the good mood in having sex no, after sex nature no oyare. Oh yes. Mentally onya adwen me how. Physically no, ni nipadua no hu say oyare.
Wow.
Onti apostle oyare saa. Enunti no, say wo yere ho ayodi ewo ni mu a, let her know. Take it off from you before you finally meet in bed to have sex. Simple as that. Answer the or how any the bejao. After you have to exercise the body. Exercise the body. Wotin tin wa pom eboa. Masa impotence ya ebeka ho asemi. Entumi nya osa. Se ne ebenya binom. Wo exercise wo body no. Fat ni nyina enane ewo ntin ni mu. Enane ewo nipadua ni mu. So always the system is very effective to go. Enunti obi mo ho a otumi hu oba sebe no tokra na no ho esane ne dada. Sa ba ma we omone ne bobra. That's it. Enunti no na nkasa wanya sex wa have sex no wa adwini mu ansana obeda mpa no kra so. Enunti sa ba ma we oda wo so a ade papa ben na obeti wo. Enunti ende ye beka ho asem. Afi smoking it does affect your manhood. Smoking wonum tobacco and cigarette and any harmful drug biano etum affect your sexual ability. Now so we have to take on what we call the pulse test. A pulse test to check our blood pressure. And untino so blood pressure do not find delightness in sex making. You can easily die. In the act. Yes, barely about 7 years or so 8 years ago, Dr. B. Ewuye, in the course of having sex with a young girl around 17. Now, doctor is almost 60 years. Oh yes. Over you see 60 no. Okay. And until blood pressure, now one can anko cry. Afe ye can male infertility and now male impotence. Obi baby say we cry any day, yeah. Yes. And ye be me bia ni be mo. And until at times some of the guys wo pese omone mba ne da mo mu hu say machine no ye good for marriage and son wa ware no. Oba so bi so ho pese me guy we me so no hwe in bed mami hu say oye all right and son ma ware no. At times even some of the machines that you go hospital to test us no etumi fail. What do you so your man or you capable of giving birth to produce, but on no better thousands times nothing will come out. Machine botuma ka jero say oba na o hye wuyefunu no oye be ma obe woro no oye oba. Yes. Enuntino we shouldn't rely solely on it. Enuntino ye can impotence or say inability of a man to produce viable sperm. The word is viable sperm, which will unite with an ovum and result in conception. Enuntino ye can viable sperma ehun odin ahondin wom ebetumi ehia oba ne egg ne nkosua no na aye oba. That is what we call impotence. Obi oye inability to produce viable sperm to unite with an ovum to form conception. That is what we are talking about here. Enunti bema onyo ba hia onto memfa yefun no. Sa bema no ye friend say oye impotence. No hunsu nyina achene. ɛno nti sɛ nneɛma me bobɔ din nyinaa no sɛ woyɛ bia you ought to be very very careful. ɛno nti no ebi mu se ɔmo yɛ artificial insemination ɛno nti no sɛ me hu nso agye no koraa ɛha me bebree. What is natural is natural. Sɛ wobɛtwe wo hu nsuo edi egu ɔbaa wodiem na wanyem awo no ɛnyɛ sɛ wo awo na wo yere ɛda sɛbe nyame onye jimifo sanko betumi akase mo obi anware ana mo ware am obi an have sex omo ntwe omo hu nsu ɛno nti what is natural is natural. Fanta wodi nsu bo ne bebra ɛyɛ tasteless ɛnyɛ debio ɛno nti no natural thing na nyame abɔ no wambɔ se yɛntwe wo hu nsu ɛwɔ activities bi a we some years back that has led you to that thing ɛno nti no ɔnyɛ natural ti wankasa wo ne wo yere bɛda enya enjoyment afulfill the wish of God no ɛnyɛ te sɛ yɛatwe wo hu mbogya yɛatwe wo hu nsuo edugu ɔbaa wodiem anyem no ɛno nti no sɛ wo yɛ obi a wo nim cigarette you have to be very careful. You find delightness in taking fat food. You have to be very, very careful. Too much fat intake in the system. I say we are careful. Now rather, we follow the proceedings we are teaching you. Ne to me aboa. Ma wait to me. We jina wana so dachi. Only me say because of sex inti. Obabi to me jane kunu. Simi kunwe onya de e won paso. Oh, menene da. Achire so 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Na ne ho asane. Obabi, or you can have sex with that lady for more than 30 minutes. H3 and say ne ho besa no. To over 5 minutes, 10 minutes na wo jenje no. Samba no na eya omo fa omo kunum echi. Yes. They cheat their husband. And eya omo fault bia. Eya omo fault. Enu nti oba unrespecting no kun bia no na sem ewe echiri. And until no, you see a infertility in man or the inability of a man to produce viable sperm, which will unite with an ovum and result in conception. Yes, causes. Then not the way ever. Also, there are more than 20 million sperm in a teaspoon. And until no, sebema wana saneno no fat teaspoon. Na odiguswa about 20 million sperms are allocated on a teaspoon. And it is 20 million sperm baako kura entumi infuse with the ovum of a lady to get her pregnant, then you have problem. Oh problem. Obi one touch pe na abedem. O obe ya de bia obrehu na obre. Emfaso di bia den emba ho. Also the most frequent cause of male infertility is low sperm count or an anatomical abnormality. Sperm factors account for 40% of all cases of infertility. Factors affecting this include excessive heat. Tinia edi low sperm count eba and impotence in man. On American wasem. Excessive heat. The testicles that holds the penis. Testicles no. Eno na effective sperms ni nyina ewo sebe woni obada nsuo fita na eba no that is not the sperms. That is not the sperm. We call the semen. Your friend semen. Sperms no are allocated within that semen. So the white eno na eboa ma sperms no to me swim faster into the uterus of the woman. Eno nti side white na yehunu enye sperms but rather no eno na ye semen no eno na sperms no ewom nti the sperms grow within the semen and therefore they are located within the semen. Eno nti no excessive heat na fihimba de bia na ya she boxes na hold your testicles tightly ewe ya ase emboa wan hwen yi a da man kwa untumi nwo wan wo so eyenim gu ase wo yiri beja oja wo peso obobo broadcast mo bi ehun say you can't give birth sa enu nti wonam kra na nkola esi wa atwetwe enu nti no we should lose off our boxes that we wear At least who of you cry, you can just not wear any boxer. Better boxers are very loose. Testicles can swing to and fro. Mema and woody testicles, no, a bansa it produce a lot of heat. Wash a boxers a title. Wash and so as a trousers a title. Wash and so as a singlet. What taking a cover testicles no one account. What will happen? I will descend onto the woman. Maybe next week or next 2 weeks. Baby or sincere military woman or battlefield. Or she pant, wash underwear, wash a skinny, wash as a hoti, a gudu, and son and na tarno, wash it. Sebi, sambano, omoase, and can, you can't withstand. We have a lot of the ladies, Bema Hunende, on no code them, pet, or friend of Crown Fabio. And not all of them are bold enough to tell them, sister, was one and can ebano and yet. Not all of them are bold to tell them. About 1% and now 2%. No mutumi pay muka. And can you they can say it. And untino and bemano. They be than ye make sure say your box and it will not hold tight our testicles. A be free to swing. Afi exposure to toxins or radiation. Alcohol consumption. Mami we ana. Exposure to toxins or radiation. And untino. Yeah, Yensusu emben adia eradiate. Na what's na gas ho na heat e buffer won sa. Yeah, ebinom so ya word ho. Na ejesi wo pa. No mo ko butu so sei. No mo show mo boxes yi so. Heat na e testicles no. Uwia. O wrong so udware. Mo say testicles na amwa no ho. Ha. Chirao say or show pa na aka no enu nti no anua sperms na wo si man mu no nti wa ye inactive ti when di enduane duru bi na nka na hyebiom a wo de saa wo be war 1000 no be ja 1000 because untwa tew enu nti no yenhwe we yie afi so alcohol consumption ensanom obi ni mo mfansa nyehwe momfansa nyehwe omo anom nsa no ma kono we bread na nsa I say wenya tea bi na odi bread no wenya nsa no why so addicted to it say ontumi njai wenya nsa no one day a say one nom to the extent say otena wa nsa nyina popo kra still no yemi nyoma nyina say still no such person no hardly for you to give birth. We spend some in advance. We share sana no she pound. But I found him cry na wuti a pow. So nipa da se ni etumi nom ekuni yem owi a wa pintefi. Na won pa ka wono me ye. Enua eye sperms within the semen. Ema eye less active. Ema sperms no entumi enhia oba egg and fertilize ma enye ba. Manin ye and until all the activities are ye nyina one way the other no say yehwe na yesi anokwan afi endocrine disorders when endocrine no touch ma it can affect the sperms as well and until no the immune system no enema ewom bia eboa nipadua nyina ne kanko no say de bia da no we feed them with the right nutritious food to keep them ongoing and growing. They be no ahoden esonte na beye more and even more than the body needs. And on eboboa afi you will be the recent acute illness or prolonged fever. Wo yal fever echa it to me affect the production of the sperm.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Many fever time is what channel.
Best 3 months, it can easily affect the production of the sperms.
Wow.
And until we shouldn't take it as a joke. As soon as possible, be a special fever and a bar, we should try as much as possible to kill it. Any viral illness associated with a fever up to 3 months earlier, testicular mumps is another cause. A very common structural damage problem in men is a varicose. Varicose no intina abrok emboja entumi mfem. Sperm entumi mfem. That is what we call the sperm duct. When the fat intake increases and pile up, it can lock up the sperm duct. The sperm no on to me moving for that duct ni mumpo. That's it. Netuma transfer mpo akọ oba na wudim eke hia ne egg to fertilize with. Okay. Enunti ne yesua bia ehu hia. Anka wa wie na obetenten wa pom so na wodi sifaako. Na apale apa. The other time I wanted to talk about this. Aya. Ye stiwa. You see metal ladder. Yeah. Oh, na de trase. A point in time when a friction has occurred at the tip of the ladder. Bisa say, wana ashre no ehine koye. You've eaten into the body. Yeah. And it will build up gradually. And until now, every day I recommend the wooden ladder, the usage. Okay. And no woody call mukra, it will not harm you like the metal one. And until senya ye kano, then you know, yan fanye addition and until no fat intake, no, you have to reduce it drastically, or you put a stop to it. Ubi to me di oyelana and nina, I yellow. When in this one casa on the one who says Aquawe or Yale. Still cry no di. They I don't the black man's me who again binum ekura. Say you say media me wu. Me so me wu and the media wu preko. But they will be or enkwasi ewu. O enkwasi ewu. Ba safo ni nyina so no omoka omo ano keke omo suro wu so. Sa atakre won omo da ho. No mo hu se omo gina wu kwanta. Ende no more bompai say nyame jeme. But who dino de empire bokra no one bompai na wu ne de nyame enje wo. Enkwase ewu na wo bewu na ebesie wo enkwase esie. Eno ti ne yesu nyina no ese ye de adusua ne yesu ade kese ewom to the extent say ye be dia ma fata pile up to lock up our sperm that is very serious. The sperm no entumi travel. Wo have sex ta etawa ya se wa. Then you feel the pains. It's all about obeying the menses. Very serious. Very serious. Yan Shannon so. Se production no eye more nyansabua kwanyame no out of his own wisdom no or kwan ofado maybe a babontin. Ma wo ye free. How much more they be pile up? Na sperm that na lock it can't travel through. You die. And until also, if your sperm count is healthy, a cold or flu probably will not affect it. But if sperm count is borderline, an illness might render you infertile for a time. And until no sperm no or healthier, cold cannot affect it. Neither flu can it affect it. You always go scot free. But the sperm count on your borderline illness kakrebi it will attack it. No bema aye infertile. Infertile ni obema na huone abafum apakra to the extent say entumi enyem obia enunti we ought to be very careful and take it serious what we are learning tonight. Modern pesticides contain estrogenic materials which causes animals to become infertile. And there were certain pesticides we use. Some of the pesticides, when we are using it, we have to make sure that we cover our nose with our nose mask to avert the inhalation of the pesticides. Because some pesticides, we use some of them to make some animals infertile. So when you inhale it, it can easily affect you one way or the other. Until I say, exposure of toxins, it can also affect the production of sperm. And until obeko no be ewe o spray chemicals na ne hwen eda ho saa no twe ekonomu one, any internal organ that you possess, it can affect it. especially the heart. Especially the heart. A heart and so an impedient will shut down totally. Because that is the engine of the body. And until pesticides you be using one way or the other piano. You have to make sure say and cover your nose. Ama a tumor averting you from any infertility. Afi, here's some of the diets that can help us to avert these diseases. 1. Obtain an adequate diet. Nyambrema ho na didi. Mediano na endorse na didi. Na nipaduano enya fasode ewom. Include enough protein. Make sure the diane awudi no protein ewom no endorse. Some people are stingy, very chisel. Someone eltwe diane ama omo ho no kra no na. Also enam de enyemhwe me de beto nam no me de beto eduane aka ho na medi
menum kra nam ho de da se my nam nanum ne dantonto nam
entina benefo se wutwa wo techere ma wi a na wonwe nam bia enu nti wa ena wo ha wo ho se wo techere ma nam a fafa so de bia na wi na sa na wa na wo ha wo ho enu nti you have to obtain adequate diet, include enough protein, essential fatty acid. Say make sure fatty acid na ewom no so ebeko nkan ana ebeko nanim if necessary. Say don't take that fatty acid into the body. Memfa enko mu afi we should feed on vitamin C. Yendi indiani drua zinc ewomu to build the body, to build the system, to equip us in the production of sperms. Sperms no are very healthy all day, all time. Afi, ginger is very good. It increases sperm count.
Okay.
And until low sperm counter, what commando te declare ginger fire with diane. Oh yes, ribi. Now would be ye diane and kwaya febi ye, froya febi ye. Need be on that diet for let's say 2 weeks to 1 month and see the changes that will occur. Do not overheat the testes. Do not overheat the testes. Then I advise you to even refrain from taking hot water in bathing.
Wow.
Nice share. A brantin and share and say 1 2 na award them. No butu jaho. 1 2 nice share. 1 2 na mi pum. You have to be very careful. Very, very careful. And so our advice is what way you know, then you do it.
Okay.
To control birth. Birth control. That is a natural process for you to control birth. Now what be be what dear and or twin for sir say ginger. Yenta NUC sir dandelion yenta NUC moringa yenta NUC moringa especially can cure about 300 diseases and over. Oh yes. Eyo no me bebre se wunim adini usefulness it always appears useless to you. Enunti yesu take it up from today. You be no more near a den kwan or mopo. So Mubefa near Yenea. She said, Omodo woo and quantasso. Other than that, and forget. Near baby beer you over the bar. Near den kwan no mope. And untino and the impotence no or not infertility in men no. And I made the best here. Se quickly no, in some bisabiaba. Menu ana mi asebia me ansa na de adesua no abana wie
asembisa de bi wa hapa na ya na isem yim na mebusa ebi mu be ma fans pa ma minyi nkanyi questions na ewo mu no inshallah can say doctor what should I do to know if I'm impotent or not before I get okay no busa say there bibi on ma obeya obehunu say ne hunsuo no enyene ansa na wakwa awade mu bibi ho mo be ya na.
Oh yes, you can easily go to the hospital. They will test it for you.
Okay.
Obe test yamo one term test.
To cause we don't test.
Oh yes. If you are infertility, they will easily tell you, and they will even start treating it before you get married. And until they will just refrain you from taking certain diets. And no man would dear esis emasa and no man resort no. They will avert you from taking it. Now rather no, while my way based on natural foods, now we need to build the activeness of the sperm again. Then you move forward. Other than that, there's nothing. Na shena wan konye mo biba ana wan ka fo biba say what they test no. Go to the hospital. You'll be tested there.
Because I ba you say in bedi una say me shena ko Smith man mo biba. To me fa ba we bi na me international wonye mo ma we say me boy adwuma wa anye mo we say infertility ni ya ba mu no. We so we say I say doctor me ye be ma na kwabra kwabra say oye be ma no oba e da e chepa ansana 7 ho aba and also a sign of infertility ni bia na.
Oh no. This can never be a sign of infertility. At least be ma de oni oba da the longest you can travel ansa ho esane ho fall within 20 minutes you are sick.
That man you say
the longer distance that you can go and sound no fall below 20 minutes you are sick.
Say
now what are they?
There's no about there or say 20 minutes.
Oh yeah. And sound one sign because oh and China what are you? Because send me didn't can no. They have sex in the mind before they even come to the bed.
Sure.
And until Obano, as I want to know, Okoyana Wepajana to Pano, so now one in a down. And they are making a processing now fall within that 20 minutes I'm talking about. Okay. At least Obano, Nasiao, and Sana one and a better. And untino, in order for that production of ensure Bebanasi Mayetro, Amawode Ube Mato Nasia, Wanti or Yano, you have to bring it out.
Sure.
And until who so no unini nkomo o fifina no ni nyina fall within that 20 minutes.
Oh okay.
Any na when the 20 minutes na wo yare.
That's about us here. Me we say bia ya improvement mo ube man be na sene na. Na say go 2 hours. Say to go 2 hours.
And until no. Now advice also say omo for drugs to do that and they will die on time.
Okay.
They will die on time. Oba ube to mean that 60 hours, nothing will happen to her, and she will not lose anything. You rather have the effect.
Wow.
And untino, if ubo tiny say, worry because of sex, sister wabene, and sanya miaba, you will die before your time. Oda no sooner we. Wow.
Isawaki we just say, doctor, premature ejaculation symptoms of incompetency ana also yebema uno bada ohoba ntentemo a sign of infertility ana
and shed down your signs say na me kan no what will come to your mind na ebema wo hwan ntem and until wo yes say take off your mind say wo yes example ubetuma travel afar 30 minutes 40 minutes and beyond.
Okay.
One fadrax biano. Take it off your mind. Obitina ho ohwe oba okonoto. Say no shake noto. No we imagine one night we call that hallucination or to me they call a diemu. Otena ho na ye ne so onyo ba ne da. Obo ma say no ho asane no. Ejimie. Ejimie. Oh, have it says that take it off your mind. You will travel afar and you enjoy it.
Okay. If you just say onim say na sem bi say enka ye no ho ba so so bi say onum tawa ade empany for say affect your lungs. Now so bi say aya na affect akoma nso ana.
Oh. Tawa ya dance. Cigarette.
Cigarette ya.
Oh. Affect akoma.
Okay.
Now, ontie mi so tia, onko so ntie. One, ema akoma no ye less active.
Okay.
Reducing the activeness. Se first no anan kane no na akoma no e de 10 hours na di ye adwuma. chapter 1 introduction into the system no be use obe reduce about 7 hours. Afei akoma no ho ebe yetum.
Okay.
Na ese no no. Afei the veins that is connected to the heart ebe start say eye weaker. Eye weaker. The rate at which the heart pumps blood cannot pump that level of blood anymore. Okay. Till a day, say blood in a pump about 60 kilos of blood to all parts of the body. Ebe declining about let's say 25 and 30.
Okay.
Till time ebe we ukra. And until it affect the lungs, it affect the liver, it affects the heart as a whole.
Powerful.
Oh yeah.
Ti afiaje wa Dr. Yano ka wakoma nso. Na asimisa ne bande we die no se fiosis bo ato se eyese obedi anwa aduane da bia.
Ene ubewu ntem. Ene ubewu entem. That is why you are being advised to eat balanced diet.
Okay.
Why we enkosua pano margarine with tea anapa. Ewia na wakofa emo na ngwa esi ho. Ewimbere emuna stew. Ubewu. Enu nti yedidie no eno de ehia me pa. Yenhwe yedidie mu eyie. Se nyimba bia obese wotena ase cha wano. Uhu wano so hwa unyi eche.
Kweswe de modu. Ba mi an mebusa. Abna nyako a abna nyako kwesi modu. Ba mebusa. O say doctor se oba oni bema eda na we na brofo ne tai sa de ne pa na 7.4 manimu a ebi ode bema se na sperms ni bi de o kan se semen no ebi akonanum se konum sa ma wonyale
omo yesa no ejimi na omo jimi. Oh yes. Obi na obo na ndwom ojampon aka asem bi na madwen wa besi nde na asat now wo ye oba na wo ye sa we na wo ye jimifo elopre kwan eda he eda wiem ship ekwan eda he eda nsuo so bema ekwan eda he oba ase
se bible kraka se okode ekwan ewo soro na bema kwan eda oba ho jenye ne wanum
nti aden na wo de bema be hye wanum. One, ubetumi enya any viral disease.
Okay.
Two, sperms eko mu a ubetumi ayare. Na sperms okra enyan. Why do you have to put this in your mouth? No se me like ejimi ana esen. You don't call this laugh. You don't call this laugh. We enya odo.
Okay.
So what did bema ehye wenum aleke ana sperms odi egu wenum. Wo yale. Ashawo bufumbo mesa sebi emboa mpo omo have sesa da be no hu aponche ana krama se one ne anko krama adamo ode ne be ma ekowura nanum da nipa nyame se obo enu suban ene ne seso sebi aya medwe na wokra menti ase emboa mpo omo level of reasoning ye very low. You know see these things in them, but the nyimpa nyame abonya sebi oboyen se ne seso na nu suban so no. Look at what you are doing. If you need to be akombua etibiem. Aja meni aba ne se monye bi wona bra bom da. Be ma ne so do ne sen kura monye bi da.
Doctor Atro okay na obi bi say ne de ne.
Ane ubewu so.
O ne de ne.
Yo, owu so na ubewu.
Eze ade de ku nkwase a anyi.
Owu na ubewu.
Because na wu kwase wu ya.
Enye se ubewu kura keke o. Uwi asotwe ewo nyame afama o. Asotwe so ewo ho ema o. Behwe be ma pa os aw. Nipadua ni nyina bebi a ye powerful pa is our tank. Be wu na be ma tachirema eda oba ase na otafre chimi sei. Chimi sei. That very day we yes ano. That very day we yes ano. The powerness of the tank. Eko. Tachirema no eni tumi bia biom. The time Yankopon meba.
Hey.
Oh yes. Enuntino ni ayedi eni pedua ye apart from health wise no. Yan consider nyame embrem ne enhwe se ne ayeye no e se ebisa nyame se eye ne fatan ana.
Okay. I think that this will be the last question I have. Obisa say can masturbation also cause infertility?
For sure.
Okay.
For sure. Enunti omo masturbate no, you have to be very careful. Etumi emma obema no ewu kojo to.
Wow.
Entini na edida obema no mu no etumi wiki no ma bema no kra entumi sorry. Because one who put pressure etreko up and down.
Yeah.
Bema e sorry naturally a e wo senia eye. Na wo so wo hwetwe a e wo senia eye. Enunti etumi ma obema ewu kura entumi sorry mpo na apawa.
Wow.
Enunti so wo masturbate a ya ahweye. You very careful. Very very careful. Very dangerous.
Yes, Dr. Chemoho. Yakani na ye fans and for every man who say beer. Okay, Sanabim Ponsubisa. Or say a yes, Uyoba, because on Uyoba, Uyoba na uni Ohokani April romance no 7 pen from anyone. Obeson the Beman, what you change said ye. Essentially masturbating na auntie. I think say no one we are no. Because I know you masturbation.
Wouldn't you can be as obesa? So be so who can you bear memoir during sex? What the one sa F found won't you send a when you bully air to one sa and whatever found. And no crowd wo no abra. Upe se ne ho eba mamu have sex. And I watching adwin esi niamo be ye no so. And enye ne be man kote na ye playgrounds a obetumi di aye. Na sum e wo ho, na no e wo ho. Obetumi afe, obi wa obetumi de ne nsakra ahyehye na sum. Bi wa wo de wotachere makra obetumi afa na sum. Ha enunu no. Aha. That's it.
Yeah.
But unya so me twetwe masturbation no a ho asema na ye ka no. Eno na wo ye no.
So bit me chia
oba bisa no obetwe eje gon so a obeja ho akọ. That's it.
Hey, that we say Sterling o say obisa amanikunu na o say eyese bema ono oba eda ebe afini na efan say ono oba be sia na ono oba da che be afi. Se no be da eye se ne hu nso be ko ba ni mu ana se enye.
Oh, 1,000 years cry, why not? 1,000 years cry. Sebi se sperm no ense ya.
Okay.
1,000 years cry are very effective. Enunti emfum bia ene ho. Se watena ho 10 years mpo no onene ndada no onene ndana no hu nso koma e man effect bia.
Okay.
Any side effect bia. Obenyem no all right. Obewo afa no ho afa ne ba. Problem bia embechiri.
Okay. Ti enu Sterling no. Se be man 20 years kra. Odigumu a onyale why? Man fa ni na ngum. Just don e be do so. Okay.
Na sene ana me ka no.
Yeah.
Be ma have sex a. Na no hunsu no odugu oba no mu a. About 200 sperms no around no. Ba kope na enter into the womb.
Sure.
Atia enter pe womb no close. Womb no close a. The rest of the sperms that are left behind serves as energy for the lady.
Okay.
So you're lucky na mienu ko shema na twins na eba no. The rest ni nyina energy ma oba no.
Okay.
Enu nti no man side effect bia never how bia embre no. Ti emba bebra omo aye totototo ni nyina no. Sperms nko a.
Nese sperms ko ma oba eye fine.
Oh yes.
Hey.
Oh yes. Emma o effect bia.
Okay.
Ba sperms a be ma no. Sperms anwode na akofom no enye hwe ma oba bia.
Okay.
Yade na dija wo. Problem na de ma wo.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm
I'm talking about the active
sperm.
Oh yeah.
messages ne toss be 30 but be na ya baso de Zelaku or say big ups to Bell and to you doctor abranya kon say mi sua de pa or say enemy sua de pa efiajewa or say doctor ye da wase santuna okay fios what in the mebusa anwa de no abranya kon say doctor is really spitting the fat, God bless him. Kwaku Boatin, doctor was the Bell Radio #1. Kwabna ko bi kwabna. O say doctor, is it okay? Onsu bisa say, o say yes sir, bema. No oba be dan tentem.
Obere.
No oba be da tentem say bi endem no oba da 2 days am no oba da. No oba da frequent sex
So wona ne da entuatua so saa. Eno so e be haw.
Okay.
Oba no ukowia no. Me se be me yire wo hoyi. Ene me ne nada. Ochina me ne no koda agiden. She is there for me. Anytime I'm here no bia metumi ene nada.
Yeah.
Enu nti adwen beneta echiri nti a wona ne da in hurried mood. Ebe how at least within a week bia what have one sex cry is okay for you to go. Membe pere ho enkaji weni so. Da wo da no so ana wasensen. Wo sensen a wunde ye be ware obi foforo ama no. On to maintenance da. Enti hwe ho yie. Wunya sex most frequently no. Ema wo be ma no ahoden so ete.
Okay.
Ema wo ahoden so te. Na wan kasa so wonye fine. Especially in aid of not having good sex.
Okay.
You won't be man be wo ha sebe wo ye nkurasefo. Omo dan ba no so ana omo pese omo penetrate won. Gidi ti say ma o rape obi. At least adena ye ntobo ase na kasa kire na smooching na be ma no ho aba ono kura na obefa wo be ma kura akahye na ase yen wo kura na wo de be hye. Enu je me ma no mo yes an munjai. Munjai. And until one kasa, what's the language of sex? You will not even call for it. Besiana na, I share when man away with the language no patch. And until no, only about that entry so sa ebe how. Wapomo din especially.
Ye ka se be ma ho nsuo ema oba eye from na sinale say ene on de wawu. Bisan say o se be mfie mienu nie. Bi nko ni mu ye. Enti ene on de onya do be kese eno kran so nya nya kese okay. Ebi na ye abasobo okay. Sandra Bimpon say doctor you are looking good. I say no why fe pa. Okay. I say, oh, okay. The doctor is smart. I say, doctor is smart. Okay. Come say, that's why my manager and there Santana's tank is weak. Santana tetraman there. You don't name what the idea no. Or can you ask him to a bravo so can you be? I think the message is a dawson, but maybe negra. That may can be bentiama, bibrinano. Ya aira temini se mom was a misa wo bia no no nyame adoma ebasene ne ba se misa bebe chire no e be make you say be treat eno ansa na yakọ next week topic no eso enti for the Facebook the messages ne ba na de wo mu de da no yira jama messages ne bebre ayira mi humpo na makan enti ye de betimi de si ana achire no yehwem ne hu bia nyame adoma next week nyame de enko ache na Dr. Saba questions abeba eche ebi di nkan ahwe no ho asema kan sana ye di next week de no atumi edi awie nti doctor ye di addition na eba awie no se afutu sembo ma odi ebi twato a na afi ntumi fa ene de no nso no entumi emra awie
afutu sembo ho ane se seven penfo se wadwuma da so a wo ye ni nyina we DEBRAH especially, you know, I'll cut off to the youth. And until you see me, oh baby, I will share me. You can invite me over, be it church or baby, I'll come. Especially youth activities, church as a whole. Meba, ya be ya disunya. Na fe so mafutu amede ma tiefu nyina ne se ne yetie nyina we should put it into practice because owu eye ya o
pa
wu a woni tua wo mbre nso a eye ya enu ti da na dan nyina na fa hye witrim say you have families to take care of wo mba wo behwe won wo kunu a wo beja na ekiri wo yira wo beja na ekiri wo de sa ehye witrim a ne wo ye bia no you think first before you act. You don't act before you think. And unti manu di sema me de ba machi etiefu nyina so. Ne de me da wase. Eno abaso body a wode bo nyina no. Na me gimi di ye, na me yesu nyina so no. Wode be ye adwuma.
Okay. The doctor wait to the number to ga say bia obi wase mi sem no ntimi amu so be say bia ofre wa na ono odi nkomo bi nso na say do kan dwuma di bi na obi pese oto nsa de frɛ na oba be nkyerɛkyerɛ wa ase a homatofo be no mfrɛmfɛnsi so.
My number is 0248 24 14 and 94.
Okay.
0248 24 14 94.
Okay.
0248 24 14 94. On na frame on sabekam.
Powerful.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, no doctor number our friend na onsa ebetumi aka no na oni no etumi edi enkomo. Enti no watwe abo apawsima no aduasa baako aha ena yedi ene health and wealth apomudin ene ejapade no edi ebesi meso ye mamene se obeka che onua se ebna da bia wa bra no nso abo apamu 7:30 ekosi 8:30 yetrase edwendwen na apomudin ehu esanse bible no kra aka osodo fo me yimpa yes adini na ensi wiye na ensi okra yiye sɛdeɛ asi yie nanti bia mu no bible no kra ka apomuden ɛho asɛm ɛno nti apomuden deɛ yade a ɛho ehia pa nti bonua bia maneɛ sɛ ɛbranda bia wabra no nso abo apamu no ɔmna facebook belgh tv na ɔmɛka ho na yɛntimi nsuadeɛ na bibia entumi enye kama pa amefa ncha kɛseɛ Emma me CEO Dr. AC Christabel and I feel director Dr. Koku Boating Zelaku and I feel na okeka ho na no entia kese entimi enkomamo ene enwumre mem di dwumadi o cha medin ene nanaba kwa bana metremu edi ma menuaba eye sister Sunday and I metremu edi ema no I think say drive time kan say when you go on your knees to say a prayer, say one for our sister. As I said, hold on the kakra. And you come to Jena Bompaya na wabobi ediama yenyaba sister Sunday and I feel Madam Bakope Yvonne na motima Bompaya nibi edi ama omo. Yankopon enhwe also a wo ho ema menyo koda yi oma onna enya wode na oma wonso da ye papa beboa ama empuntuo etimi aba wabrabo nyankopon hirawo na onyo kese ne nso obeka yakram na bye bye Bell Radio
yes Besefani kwa nyina haba ya tasina nyansafua wudi